you're talking about as well is almost creating an ecology at work. There's a sense of, like the next point that he's going to talk about here, of never quit underestimating the value of creating a healthy workplace.
Right. Because some people listening are going to think, well, I'm going to lose all my power. And they're confusing power with leadership. Leadership, true good leadership, isn't about fear. Power is based a lot on fear. You're in power, and I'm afraid to say something to you. I'm afraid to disagree with you. I'm afraid to, and fear doesn't create high productivity. Fear creates a situation where I will only do what's expected of me. I won't do more. And so, what was the next one again we were talking about?
Healthy.
Oh yeah, the healthy work environment. Okay. Your job as a leader is to create the healthiest place possible, because in a healthy work environment, I will produce more. Bottom line, I will produce more, make more, earn more, sell more, lead better. I mean, there's not a bad thing to it. In a healthy environment, I have every single opportunity to make this company successful, and I will choose to do it in a healthy environment. In an unhealthy environment, I will back off, lead less, whine more, complain more, gripe more, and I'm not going to bring in new customers, and you're not going to get anything new. So a healthy environment, I say it's the 3 F's. Number 1 is free. A healthy work environment is free from abuse. You're not yelling at me, screaming at me, you're not throwing things, you're not swearing at me, which is still happening in workplaces all over the world. You're not slamming doors, you're not ridiculing me in front of other people. You're not, if I do one little thing wrong, you're not mad out of control. And sarcasm. Sarcasm is huge in America. I don't know how it is, but sarcasm in America is like, well, so glad you could get to work on time. I'm just lucky you even found the office. It's a horrible, and sarcasm makes people laugh, but it's very humiliating. Everyone else laughs. Yeah. But it's humiliating to the person that was the brunt of the sarcasm. They may not come late again, but they'll move into passive aggressive and get even with
revenge.
you.
Yeah.
So in a healthy environment, it's free from abuse. It doesn't mean you can't be angry with me or unhappy with me or disappointed, but you're not screaming, yelling, name calling. There's none of the abuse. The second is it's fair. In a healthy environment, it's fair, and that's what we talked about the friends. If I'm your friend and I'm nobody else's friend, and you and I are drinking after work and at each other's house, and I'm letting you come in late, there's nothing fair about that. So if I can be your friend and still treat you exactly the same as I would treat everyone else, okay, but that isn't usually what happens. Usually with our friends, they get preferential treatment, and then it's not fair. A healthy environment is fair, and it has rules. In a healthy environment, I know what time I need to come to work, I know how I need to dress, I know how I need to talk to customers, and I know what's going to happen to me. If I come to work late, then this is going to happen. If I turn a work report in late, then this is what's going to happen. In an unhealthy environment, there's nothing fair. I mean, one day I can come in late and you don't even notice. The next day I come in late, you scream at me. One person can bring their personal life to work and you listen, and another person says one thing and you yell at them. In an unfair environment, nothing makes sense. The rules aren't the same for everybody, and so that's scary. It's unpredictable. And the last word is a bit of fun. And we talked about this. Work isn't fun all the time, but there's got to be some moments. So in a healthy environment, people do laugh with each other, and they do joke around with each other, and they do kid, and they do like to be with each other. So your job as a leader is to create this, that it's free from abuse, that it's a fair environment with rules and healthy consequences, and you're not afraid to be in charge and make decisions, and there is a degree of fun, that it is a place that people want to go. They enjoy being there. They don't get knots in their stomach.
The challenge for a leader is to make sure that people don't withhold their best labor.
Right.
And if they're resentful, if you're dominating, if you're the passive aggressive thing is that
I go into work and these leaders, they're angry and they're mad and they're ridiculing people and they're calling them in and I'm just looking at them when I'm alone and I go, seriously? I mean, do you honestly think? Well, it always goes back to, guess what? That's exactly how they grew up. Exactly. Yeah. Their dad screamed at them, their mom yelled at them, and I said, so did it work for you? I mean, how did you feel? Well, sure, they hated it, but now you're doing the same thing. We often manage the way we were parented by our dominant parents, so a lot of times I have to take them back to childhood for a second. What happened? Did someone yell at you? Did they abuse you? Did they, ridicule you? Whatever happened often is how we move into parenting our own kids or leading and managing our employees, even though we couldn't stand it ourselves.